Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you all for coming. My name's Howard Quedno, and I'm here today in my role as chair of the Visiting Artists Committee at MCAD, and we've had a really heavy schedule of visiting artists this month. This is our second lecture this week already, and just kind of a shout out to really dozens of people that are required to make these lectures happen. Everybody from donors to committee members who come from every aspect of the college, to graduate students who volunteer their time, to faculty and charitable donors. So I want to extend also an invitation to you. After the lecture, there will be a question-answer discussion period, and you are welcome to stick around here for that. Also, if any of you are undergraduates who might be interested in a studio visit potentially next week, if you would contact me individually by email, that may be possible. From time to time, MCAD welcomes visiting scholars and thinkers under the broad moniker of Thinking Out Loud. MCAD's mission is to educate artists and designers who can immerse themselves in a larger dialogue with their world, and today's speaker is very directly connected with that ideal, I think. I met Professor Hidano 2 years ago. He's an economist, or that's how he was introduced to me, and I assumed it would be a very short meeting because I know very little about economics, other than its common name of the dismal science. And I told him as much. I made a short joke about how little I knew about economics, haha. And he came into my office and he sat down and he said, "I will explain it to you." And he did. And 5 minutes later, I understood a lot more about economics. And 10 minutes after that, I was really engaged. And another 5 minutes after that, I was reaching for pen and paper to start taking notes. I was utterly fascinated. Ecological and environmental economist Noboru Hidano is the principal organizer of art at Tokyo Tech and of the Center for the Study of World Civilizations at Tokyo Institute of Technology. His book, The Economic Valuation of the Environment and Public Policy, A Hedonic Approach, has become the seminal text in this field. He is also the author of Public Space in City from the Viewpoints of Extended Self-Concept, a Fragment on Happiness, and over 50 other published papers. Professor Hidano is an advocator of the notion of the extended self as discussed within his paper, Extended Self, Game and Conflict Resolution, and he has undertaken interdisciplinary work in many fields, including the conceptual design of train station, handheld video games. Anybody here have a Game Boy? That was his student. As well as public art. He has received several prizes, including the Prize for Science and Technology in his native Japan. He is a graduate of Tokyo Tech's Department of Social Engineering, established in 1966 as the first of its kind in the world to combine humanities, social science, and engineering. He has subsequently founded Hidano Laboratory, whose focus is estimating how much time, energy, and money should be spent toward the larger public good. Another way of saying, what does it take to be happy from an economist's point of view? Over the past several years, he has invited artists, musicians, and other creative individuals to an annual gathering called Art at Tokyo Tech. Recent artists have included MCAD alums Santiago Kukuju, Rob Fisher, and emeritus faculty Kinji Ekagawa. Please welcome from Tokyo, Japan, Professor Noboru Hidano.
So thank you, Howard, and Mr. President Jay, and Kinji, and maybe I think Gwen and Scott. And all of you, I'm really welcome you coming here. I'm so happy to be with you now. And maybe we have 1 hour, maybe 30 minutes with you. And this is really the wonderful occasion to me. Maybe this is the first time, maybe the last time to see you. So this is so important time to me. Okay, so today I'd like to talk about these 4 tales of economics and the arts. I think most of you are really that artist or maybe designer you want to be, or maybe you're not necessarily that, maybe you're students or maybe already faculties or real artists. But I think today's talk is maybe really the first time to talk to really art faculty or student. But maybe it's good for you to understand to these different disciplines what they are thinking about you. Okay. So this is I'm sorry, really, this is very long. This is a sort of a design. You need not read it. It's impossible to. Okay. So today's talk, I want to talk this actually 5 points. The first one is tale. One, this I'm talking about the Robinson Crusoe. I want to ask you, how many really you read this book, famous book Robinson Crusoe? Okay. Okay. Did you read through all the part of the book? Yes. Okay. Okay. So maybe some of you never read it, but I think it's a very important textbook for economics. But not only economics, maybe it's good for every field of study, or even artists have to read it. So I talk about the tale one about the Robinson Crusoe, how he want to be happy, how he managed to get happiness. The tale second is I talk about Friday. If you read this article, this book, you understand. That means that Friday came to his place accidentally, but they create a society. Robinson Crusoe is only one person. This is not society at all. If there are two persons come, so this society established. So this is the real situation. Okay. So I talk how then both become happier than before. Okay. This is a tale two. That tale three, I want to talk about after this Friday and Robinson Crusoe's maybe United States or whatsoever, I don't know, maybe the name of the country. They developed so much, but they have some problem. They invented money, right? But afterwards, what money function to them? I talk about these serious issues. Okay, this is tale three. And we have to solve the issues that this sort of the modern economics create in the world. What should we do? This is the tale four's issues. I think there are so many critical controversy. So there are so many, issues or conflicts in this society now. How can we solve it? From my viewpoint, maybe better to change to be as here as really the Western educated people. But that's a bit different idea based upon Japanese animistic idea to change our conception of the self or ourselves. This is a tale four. And I want to really have some more ways, not only conceptually, to do using some sort of technique of economics. How should we do, okay, to be happier than before? So this is tale four. And tale five, actually didn't mention about it, but last part, I talk about how should we change these four conceptions now with you, and maybe we have some sort of direction of art and design in the future. Okay, this is the whole structure of my talk today. Okay, look at this. This is universe. You can see at night, you look up to the sky, you can see so beautiful sky but it's a really dark but beautiful. It's really that infinite world. It's not limited. Okay, you never think about our life is limited, but our universe is really the limitless. It's infinite. So even though we work hard, you may make a very beautiful artwork, but it has a time, some sort of the end. But the universe is much more bigger than that, right? So we don't know anything, even though we work hard. So maybe it's better to really understand this fact, I think. Okay, so why economics is important now? So because it is the most sophisticated social science. There are many social sciences, like sociology. I'm sorry if there are some professor of sociology in this room, but maybe like okay, maybe some sort of the cognitive science or whatsoever. This so many fields of the social sciences. But unfortunately, they are not necessarily mature enough to really cope with the present world. The economics only is the most strongest theoretical background as well as a tool to understand and also to implement in the world. So this is the reason I talk about economics. And the aim of the economics is maybe you are misunderstanding about this economics. They are just money seeking to, if you want to be a banker, you will go to the university, the economic faculty, and you study and how to make money, okay. But it is completely different. Really the essence of economics, the aim of the economics to pursue the individual happiness, right? They are not talking about money. The money is only our tool, okay? So this is important. You understand that this sort of the disciplines are seeking for the happiness of the human being. And maybe this is really exactly the same. You artist, you, I think, the designer, want to make, right? It's a happiness, isn't it? So this is really connected, the two disciplines. So better to really understand that really the opposite side. This is really opposite. Maybe you think it's, you never study, or sorry, how many of you studied economics? Could you raise your hands? Maybe not so many. Maybe you study a bit. I really talk about the fundamentals of economics, the first two tales, and afterwards it's a really new vision. So you never think about, you never thought about that yet, but maybe this is a really good occasion. Howard mentioned about it. After 1 hour, you completely understand the economics. Okay. So the tale one. So Robinson Crusoe, this is a very long, actually the title is very long. The Robinson Crusoe, the life and strange surprises, sorry. The Adventure of the Robinson Crusoe by Daniel Defoe. It's written 71-9. And actually the title is, you can see this bottom part is the actual title of the book. So this is a book of this is Oxford University Press. Okay. You already say that some of you read this article, this book. I think I talk about this one. Just maybe you understand this situation. This is already written here. Robinson Crusoe was, he is a sailor, but he is a very, very, adventurous. Also, he is very, eager to get some money or whatsoever. He is a sort of such people. But he has been cast on shore by shipwreck. And he was left alone in isolated island here, okay? He lives there more than 28, maybe, that's right? 28 years there in this fiction. But he was alone nearly 25 years before Friday came to his place, okay? So 25 years, he wanted to be happy. So Robinson Crusoe started his life in the remote island September 1659, okay? So what is Robinson's happiness? Okay, in order to survive in the remote island, he has to eat something. I don't know what they eat. Of course, there are many things, but maybe I want to make it simple. So I want to say, oh, this something is banana, okay? There are many things, but I want to simplify. This economics always want to simplify that facts, okay, banana. And he also need to be some rest. If you don't have any rest, you will be die, okay? So this both things is really essential to be happy. So his happiness, we said in economics, we said happiness is, it's a name as a utility. We call it a utility, not like ordinary utility which you can use gas or electricity. We don't use such word in a special word. It's a utility. Happiness is a function of amount of banana and amount of rest. Okay, it's really simple, but it's very understandable. Okay. So it's I talk about somehow graphs from now on. If you want to sleep, please. Okay. it's so much, I mean, not so interesting if you think. Okay, this is a horizontal x is the amount of banana. It's how many banana you can eat, something like that. The vertical x is your happiness. Okay, so if you eat the first banana, it's so delicious to you because you are hungry, right? But second banana, it's maybe not so much. And third and fourth, and if you ate already 20 bananas, maybe 21 banana is not so good for you anymore, right? So your happiness is going declining like that, okay? So that this increment of happiness is declining, right? So every goods which we eat or whatsoever, consumption goods we call, is like such shape, okay? How about the rest? If you sleep, you cannot sleep a day, like 1 hour's rest is wonderful, right? But if you already slept, okay, 16 hours in a day, 17 hours, one more rest is maybe not so, right? So also the same, it's a shape of the curve. Do you understand what? Do you understand? Okay. So this is really the rest hours versus happiness. Is this sort of the relationship? Okay. So how about the production? So Robinson Crusoe have to work to get banana, right? In the remote island, it's a jungle, so he have to find the banana. So he have to walk around and something. So working hours is if you work 1 hour and you can find some banana or something like that. But if you work more, but your production to get banana is less because you are tired to work or something like that. Okay? So this is very natural form of the production. Okay? So now understand this sort of the relationship or something like that. Okay, so formulation. The happiness is the amount of banana. This is the power is 0.5. It doesn't matter, but I want to make it clear, but it's somehow declining. So 0.5 power. The rest time also 0.5. This is both goods. Banana and rest is really essential goods. You can never, you have to really eat. You have to have rest. Otherwise you will die, right? So this is the formulation. So, sorry. ごめんなさい。So, it's going back. Yes. Yes, here. So amount of banana, it's, I said this is the production. It's a working time, and 0.15 is the power. So it's declining, okay? But working time is you have only 24 hours a day, right? Even you are the king of the island, or even though you are the president of the United States, you cannot change your 24 hours. Everybody equally can get, right, 24 hours a day. So this is important. So now 24 hours minus rest time is your working hours, okay? So it's, you understand. And just I want time, the working time is more than 1 hour. It's just for the some simplicity. I can change it, but it's somehow. So then your utility is a function of rest time, okay? This is a banana and this is real rest of time. So you want to find the optimal time to maximize your happiness, because there are nothing for the Robinson Crusoe they can do is just they want to be happy in the day, right? So they want to survive, to eat something, and to have some rest. So how can you find this result? Okay, Robinson can get the same happiness. So the amount of banana and the rest time are different. Okay, this is also the balance. So you can see this left side, you have 5 banana and 1 rest time, okay? And the right-hand side is you have 1 banana and 3 rest. So it's sort of the same happiness. Of course, quality, I mean the amount is different, but you have same happiness. You are left side, you are not hungry, but you are very sleepy. And right side, you are a bit hungry, but you are not sleepy, okay? So this, you are sort of that balance. We have the same utility with a different combination of goods, okay? Okay, so we call this is this vertical x is the rest hours, and horizontal x amount of banana. So we have this is the same happiness. Okay, this is the same happiness line. That's a many combination. It's a big amount of banana and rest hours, and here is a small amount of banana, but you have a much more rest. So this is the same utility happiness. We call this is an indifference curve in economics. But anyhow, this is a relationship. Okay, so we want to be happy. That means our happiness is going up if you have this amount, much more banana, and you have a lot of rest. Then it's happier. So if this line goes up, it means you are happier than before, right? If this line is going down, you are less happy. Okay. Now you understand the situation. Okay? Structures. Okay. Now it's a bit complicated. And sorry, it's right or yes. So because of, you can see this is a constraint of the production, right? It's your skill of the working hour versus the amount of banana is such relationship, okay? So then, here, you have, sorry. Oh, ごめんなさい. But, if in difference curve, can you go one more? Could you help me? Or I don't know. It's maybe a bit tired. Okay, so this is okay. This is actually the constraints of your skill. Okay. Sorry, I don't know. It's better. Better switch over. I don't know. Okay. Anyhow, this is you have a 24 hours in the vertical. This is the time, right? You have only 24 hours. So then you have such. This is a constraint. This green line is a constraint, and your happiness to if you go up to here, okay, you are happier, right? But this blue line, you cannot across good to come to this point. That means you cannot get it because your constraints is, you cannot satisfy these constraints. You can get more, but it's impossible. So only the green line you can get, right? Do you understand what I'm talking about? So in order to get the most happiest within this green line is this blue line here, this one. So the conclusion says you have 16 hours rest hours, okay? And you can get 6.4 happiness, okay? I can calculate in that way, okay? So this is really that he worked 8 hours a day in remote island, and 16 hours you have rest. Maybe you can sleep 8 hours. Other 8 hours you may walk around, or maybe you can see a beautiful the sea or the mountain or whatsoever, right? Something like that. So this is a situation you can be happy. It's really simple calculation, but everybody you can calculate yourself to think about one day, how do you use your time, right? This world never have any money, right? There are no other people. If you are alone, what do you do in a day? So please think about seriously. It's not like a fiction, okay? So then what happened? I'm talking about the present world. If the skill, your skill, Robinson Crusoe's skill to find banana increases, right? So this used to be like going down like this, but it's a new green one is new constraint because you are 25 years he worked in the remote islands. He can get more skill to find the banana, right? So he can get more proportionally increasing banana now. Okay, do you understand what's the situation? So I'd like to ask you one question. What do you think? After this, his skill increase, does he is he be happier than before or not? How about you? I don't want to ask you. It's not personally. Everybody, if you think, okay, how about you? You have any idea? You have you are skillful to get banana.
It would depend on our relationship to the skill.
Yeah, sure, but just we can get the optimal with like that. So my question is just a skill increase.
Yeah.
Are you the Robinson? Does he become more happier than not?
Oh,
Yes. Oh, you are right. You are correct answer. Okay. Actually, he becomes happier. Maybe everybody understand. Okay, I have another question. You, is it right? Does he has more rest or not? No. Why? Why not? Huh? No. I'm talking about it's not the answer about my question. It's I'm just so sorry joking. But okay, he is happier. He said, okay, I agree because he has more banana. I'm very sure he is skillful, right? But in the day, his rest time is increasing or decreasing. He wants to behave optimally. I mean, okay, decreasing. Why? Rest hour is decreasing. You said, right? No, why? You have no idea, but your intuition.
It's intuition.
Okay, you are great. Are you a professor of CAD, MCAD? Okay. Oh, so MCAD has a wonderful faculty, I think. Okay. So both answers are correct, but we are easily to misunderstand. Okay, this is a constraint. It's a constraint. It's first this. I mean the thinner line and become this the fat line. Okay, then. Okay, so I talk about, I said initial happiness is here, 60 points. Okay, then after this one, your happiness is going up to 12. So you are happier, you are right. Congratulations. And you have a 16 hours rest hours, right, as a first. But then the skill up, then you have only 12 hours rest, right? And you are right. You are a great professor, I think. You understand. Actually, you are happier, but your rest time is declining. You are really, this is the present world. IT technology, right, makes us a lot of maybe working, to increase our working efficiency, right? But we are much more busier than before. Don't you think so? Maybe Jay, the president of this mcad, is working so hard. He doesn't have no time to have rest, right? Maybe he can get more money, right? Maybe he's happier than before, but his working hour is much more bigger than before, right? So 16 hours decline to 12 hours. That means if you had before, you have, I think, 60 hours rest. That means 8 hours you work, and 8 hours you have some free time to do your own way. But after this, the increase of your skillfulness, you have 12 hours rest time. So if you work, again, you have to do a lot of things in your home and something like that. So you have 8 hours still you have to do something. So that means you have only 12 hours. So you have only 4 hours rest. I mean real sleeping time, right? Do you understand what I'm saying? So you are sacrificing your body. You are happier, but your happier is only your brain, your mind. We are really, you have some questions? Or?
Wouldn't it imply that you're being more efficient, therefore it would take less time?
It's if you behave like that. You want to maximize your happiness, right?
Yes.
And this is the combination of banana and your rest time, right? But if the weight of these two arguments, I mean two goods, are same, if the skill is increased, automatically you have to work more harder than before.
But you only want a certain amount of bananas anyway. Like, didn't we already establish that happiness was only a certain amount of bananas?
It's much better than before, But you want to you want to. Our goal is to maximize our happiness, right? It's endless. So, but if you follow this idea, it's always something happen like that. Do you understand what the point? Sorry.
I'm sorry. Each individual would only want a certain amount of bananas. So, I mean, just if you're keeping the bananas.
No. We are very greedy to eat something, right? So you said, okay, you have some limit. Just already I mentioned it is declining, your utility, right? To what I'm talking about. So we follow that way, not artificially. We said we are happier than before, but we have already it is declining, right? Can you get the point? Okay, you can come to me later about it. Okay. So this is a situation. It is very important. I think most of you are workaholic, like Japanese, right? And better to have a chance to your body to have a rest. So this is a conclusion of the tale 1. Okay, I come to the tale 2. Okay, Robinson Crusoe met Friday. But the date is November 1684, right? And then the society constructed. So I'm talking about this blue stands for the Robinson Crusoe, okay? It's Robinson Crusoe happiness. This is the indifferent curve of Robinson Crusoe. But the goods is different now. So he is, there are two goods, fish and banana, okay? I'm not talking about how many hours work in the day. I finished this issue. The second issue is you have fish and you have banana, right? And you have some goods to eat, okay? And if you have 5 fish and 1 banana or something like that, you have the same happiness. Okay. So this is Robinson Crusoe. And he likes fish because he is a salesman. He wants to eat fish. I'm not so sure. I'm Japanese. I like fish. So. Okay. So how about Friday? He is actually he is leaving that region. So he is of course he likes banana. He's not good at fishing. So he likes this difference curve is a bit different. You can see. It's a previous one is like this, but this is more different shape. And okay, two people have a different taste. Okay, we agree. Okay, everybody is different. Okay, so in the situation, what I want to talk about is the exchange. Before exchange of goods, Friday has 9 bananas and 1 fish. Because Friday is very good at taking banana. He is originated from this region, so he can find the banana very easily. So he has 9 bananas and 1 fish. We are supposed, this is an assumption. Robinson has 1 banana and 9 fish. He's a fisherman, so he can get the fish. Okay, so altogether there are 10 bananas and 10 fish. Okay? So they exchange their good by a certain exchange rate. I'm not talking about money, just this is actually market, but it's not market. You bring your fish and banana to certain marketplace, and this, okay, Fridays come to this place and again here. And they exchange, okay? So what happened? Before that, this Robinson Friday has 9 bananas, but he has only 1 fish. But he wants to get more because he is a bit interested to eat more fish, even though he likes banana, okay? So exchange happened. It's a really complicated diagram, but please think about this blue. This is a Robinson's idea here, okay? Robinson's here. And this blue line here, don't forget about this fat line now, only this thin line, okay? This you have a fish, you have a banana. So your utility is here. You have 9 fish, and you have 1 banana, right? This is the initial condition. So before, you are this point here, right? And for the Friday, you look at the different. It's really like this reverse side. It's a red. So you can see, okay, Fridays, it's over there, right? And he has a banana here. He has a fish here. So red thin line over. This is the original situation. He has, Friday has 9 bananas and 1 fish. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Where you are, the both people distribution of goods is now here. Okay, this is the first situation. Okay, they are in that point. And if you exchange successfully, you can increase your utility. So, for example, Robinson goes up to their happiness. And also that Fridays goes up to, goes down actually, but increase their happiness. And they met together over there. This is before, after. After your transaction, you are happier. Both are happier than before, right? Do you get the point? Do you understand? So this is the lens between this. You can see this is lens. Within that region, both are happier than before. They lose nothing. They get more. It's wonderful. Don't you think so? You can exchange something, you can be happier than before, right? So this is actual, there are no money it's used here, just exchange, right? And exchange is always better. Of course, you cannot be happier in the outside of this lens, but between this lens, among this lens here in the middle, both are happy. It's wonderful. Not Robinson Crusoe dominate everything, or Friday get everything. No, both are happier than before. So we call this is in our terminology, it's a Pareto improvement, right? So this market can help you to increase your happiness. So the point here is you can exchange if you are artist. Okay, you have okay. This is a fish. If you are a fine artist, you have many 9 paintings, and the vertical X is maybe a photographer. So you have 1 photo. Okay, so 9 painting and 1 photo. The other side, Friday is a photographer. Okay, he has 9 photo and 1 drawing, one painting. And you can exchange, right? Even among the artists, you can be happier than before to exchange your goods, which you have, without any money. So it is very important to understand these things. Don't be stingy not to exchange, right? If they like it, better to exchange, right? Without money, you can do it. And you are happier than before. This is really the conclusion of the tale 2. And it's very important. It's not money is included, but you can be happier than before. Okay, now. So, but there are one constraints. Better to exchange their goods. When the goods that one agent possesses has the value for the other agent. This is important. Exchange is not to force them to do something. Just it's a really voluntary, your own will to exchange or not, right? So the other has some sort of the interest in the other's work, right? Others you cannot exchange it. The artist, you want to be really, good artist, and okay, I need not do any support from outside. I want to do my best to make a great masterpiece in the world, okay? But it is not. The thing is, some other people want it. I'm not talking about money at all, right? If they want to get it, it's very important. And I'm talking about this point later, not only the exchange of among artists or the others, but I'm talking about this is important. The other people are interested in to get it, to be happier, to take it, okay? This is so important, I think. Okay, most exchange increase happiness of both agents. Okay, so this is the conclusion of this tale 2. So how about tale 3? money is invented now. And Friday and Robinson Crusoe country is developed. So this is, of course, fiction. 60, 100, some years, they invented money because they exchanged the banana and the fish. But it's very difficult to exchange you have to go to the same place and in the marketplace exchange. It takes time and so on. So they invent the money. Money is very important, one of the greatest inventions of the human beings. And then afterwards, because of this money, the country has developed. Okay. So this is what is the function of money now? So money is invented and used as a tool of transaction, which I mentioned. Okay. If you have money, you need not to bring your banana with you, right? You have money and you can say, okay, I want to buy. Okay. And without the direct exchange of the banana and fish, you can use money, right? So this is much better than the transaction is much more efficient than before. And the second function is a means of storage of wealth. For example, if you have fish, but fish will be rotten after 1 day. And if you have banana, the same. So if you want, you can keep banana or fish in next day in time horizon. But if you have a money, you can keep it the next day, right? If you want to sell it then today and you can sell everything, you can get money. So next day, you can get banana again or fish again using this money, right? So this is a storage of wealth. This is a very important function because everything is easy to be rotten. But if you have a money, keep it. People wish to hold money not only but to use it, but also for its own ownership. Okay, at the initial stage, it's okay. It's a good function. Money has a very good function for storage and transaction. But many hundred years after, now Robinson Crusoe and Friday's empires become so rich. Okay, now people in the country they are interested in ownership of money. Why people have it? Because they must have something believable in order to prepare for the fears. The reason to have money is it's something which is believable. You can trust. If you have money of the United States, you can use this money tomorrow, right? Yes. Yes. So, but as you know, that this is only a paper. It's written of the United States, $1 or something. It's only your belief. It's only a paper. I have a Japanese yen, and I think it's about $10. I think, yes, that's a Japanese one. Okay, $10. It only costs 5 yen or something to produce it. It's a paper, right? It's really the real cost is only 5 yen, but it's 10,000 yen. I mean, that means $100, something like that. So just you believe. You believe. You believe the money of the United States. I believe the money of Japan, Japanese yen, or something else. Okay, it's only the belief. It's not connected gold at all now. You understand? It's nothing related. You can use money. So this is something you need some trustable things in your life because you are here. You want to keep your money, prepare for the fears. So that, do you understand what I'm saying? Do you? Okay, now what happened in this developed country? There is some assumption of this happiness, money. The happiness produced by increment of the 1 unit of money, $1 or something, never becomes 0. Do you understand? The horizontal axis is the amount of consumption of amount of money, and the happiness is the vertical axis. And money is the consumption is like this shape. And I mean, some gentleman over there mentioned about this. if you are so, fed up something, you need not to get it anymore, right? If you have some consumption, like if it's a banana, if you eat 100 banana in a day, impossible. If you want to 101 banana, you don't want to see banana anymore. Like that means that your happiness is really become flat. You are saturated with the consumption. However, if it is money, I believe even artists are happier when you see in your bank account one more zero is added. I think you are very pure, I think, artist. And you, okay, my own work and masterpiece is greater than money. But in the reality, it's different. In your heart, you believe one more zero is happier than before, right? Do you agree? Do you, somebody do not agree with me? Please raise your hand. You have a courage to say so. Okay? So I think most of you agree with me. So that means this money is we call this is the incremental money. I mean, this is always happiness is growing. Right? Agree? So if even Bill Gates, he want to get one more dollar is better than, he can get a lot of money, but he can get $1 more is happier than before. Okay. This is the assumption. And if it is never end, then what happened in an affluent society now, our countries, like the United States, Japan, or Europe? The people have nothing which they want to buy. I don't know your case, but most of the Japanese, we don't have a lot of space like the United States. All the houses are occupied our goods. I'm very sure, right? So they like to keep money without buying anything. Just assuming their increment of happiness by money never comes zero, which I mentioned, right? So they want to keep money because money is very simple. In the bank account, it's only this place here. It's very thin, right? It's a big, great space. I mean, money is there, right? But it's very space. Efficient. If you are gold, you need to have a very big, the safety box. But if it is this bank account, really nothing, no space is required. So this thing happened. Then what happened? It's important. I really omitted some sort of calculation, but then unemployment continues because of the lack of demand. Lack of demand is you never buy a new goods. You are already satisfied the good, right? You don't want any more banana. You have 5 cars in your house. Do you want one more? Maybe yes. But because of this lack of demand, it's really, our society is really affluent. Our production capacity is much bigger than our expected, right? It's the same in the United States, Japan, Europe. It's a such situation. And then what happened? Also the bubble of money continues. Bubble of money means that is you want to keep money, right? So this is actually deflation. Deflation means the prices is declining because you want to keep money. So this is analyzed by this Ono. His money, interest, and stagnation. He's published, this is my friend. He is a Japanese professor. He is from the Oxford University Press. And this is really a great book, I think. He calculated everything using mathematics, and he found this sort of fact in first time in the world. So I think most of you, even economists here in the United States, they never agree this idea. So he is not popular in the United States at all. So they never teach, the economists in the United States never teach this theory, I think, in the university in the United States. But in Japan and Europe, he is very much well recognized now. So I think, don't really open your eyes the world is so big. Don't so much trust in the United States about such things, right? So what happened? This is a situation. It's a Japanese situation. Money versus this is a consumption of the vertical axis. Okay, it's 1950 after the World War II. Japan is completely destroyed, and our happiness is very low. Money is less, and our consumption is less. 1970s, we are developed a bit, and much happier. We have more money, we have more consumption. 1980s, we become a peak. And actually 1990, it's our development, we have so much bubble. I mean, big bubble in Japan, right? We have a lot of money at the time. And the land prices in Japan is nearly, I think, the double of the United States, of whole nations, something like that. It's a big bubble of this land price as well. So after that, we have nothing to buy. There are, of course, some creation of the new IT technology, and many things happen, but we are already affluent. So they want to keep money in a bank account. They keep their money there. And we now, the Central Bank of Japan want to produce a lot of money to supply the money to the market. But the amount of money is increasing. But you can see, like that, there are no consumption. It's always shift from here to this vertical way. So we become happier than before, but it's not real happiness. I think money is increasing, so we are happier than before, but there are no consumption. So this is the situation. I don't think it's the same situation happened now in Europe. There are a lot of the depression that happen in European countries because they are very much matured also. They have no place to buy something. Maybe only the exception of the developed country is the United States. Your population is still growing. Many people want to come to the United States to buy something, right? Many immigrants from outside. So, but in the future, I'm very sure you have the same situation like this. So only money is increasing, right? But this is actually that your fear is there. And this is the same. I'm talking about money, but your artwork, which you produce, is the same. Why people purchase your artwork? Because they want to, of course they like it, but they want to keep it because this is sort of the reliable things, it's sort of the believable things. We can keep money in this way, right? They are interested, of course, art, but more than that, they want to keep money in that way. It's not related to the real value of art at all. So I tell you one thing about it. Under this economy is something like that. So vertical X is a time, and horizontal X is the price. So you are happier than before if you can sell your artwork more expensive way, okay? And your price is going up here, right? Like this first one. But your fundamental exchange values is the same. But only these bubbles means it's really the same thing. They are not so much believe in maybe some note or gold or silver. They want to keep the land, for example, housing in the United States, the same thing happened. It's a bubble. So it's going up, okay? This part of the value, I mean prices, of the value of money's ownership of your artwork. You can sell this artwork later on higher prices. This is the reason why they purchase it and keep it. But after the Lehman shock, they go down. Okay? Some bubble, if you finish a bubble, they go down to the fundamental exchange value. Then going up. This is the nature of the economy. So of course you are happy if you can sell your artwork in New York market more expensively. I mean, you can get money. It's wonderful. It's nothing bad. But this is the reality. The value which you can sell is not your real value, but it's a value of the ownership of artworks. Okay. Of course, money is important to survive in the world, but it's the function of that. Don't worry about the price of your artworks, right? More important thing is your fundamental value of exchange, right? Somebody like it. You can exchange without money. You can exchange for your photo. You can exchange of your printing. You can exchange something else. But this is really important. So what is the price of the artwork is such. It's a macro economies, I mean, which I'm talking about. This is the reality. So, okay, so this is the end of the tale 3. So money introduces many things, not only money, but such things, possessive things, as also have this sort of function, okay? So I'm talking about the tale 4. It's a unification of extent itself. I want to bit change. How can we get rid of this fear now, okay? And I have some ideas, but this is really, I mean, different from the ordinary orthodoxical economics. But I want to really claim a new field in this way, because we are really fear. Everybody have a fear, right? It's a very the universal things, okay? Then I look at these trees. This is a Jomon tree. In Japan, it's a southern part of Japan. We have Yaku Island. It's one of the oldest tree in the world, I think. It's maybe estimated the age is more than 2,500 years up to 7,000 years. We are not sure. We cannot cut down and check the years, right? So, but I went there once, and it takes more than 10 hours to go and return from the accessible road. We have to walk, right? Everybody have to walk to see these trees. I think this is, their life is more than our life, of course. It's more than 3,000, 4,000 years, right? So this, what it means, I'm talking about certain animistic ideas. And I feel not only that the old tree, but every tree has some sort of spirit. And this is some sort of cartoon. You are maybe interested in this sort of things in Japan. This is a Hayabusa. Do you know this is some sort of the explorer. This rocket goes to this planet outside of the moon. The United States gets some stone from the moon, 1970 or 60, right? This is the first time in the world to get something out of the Earth. But Japan recently sent the rocket to this mission to this sort of Itokawa planet, and they get some sort of stones from there to Japan. It's a long way. There are so many tough work to go. So this is sort of these things in the universe, and we think. But my point is, this is some sort of manga type things, but we believe they have a life. So this is really that we believe it's really animistic. This is an artificial rocket or something, the things, but they return safely from the Okawa planet to the Earth, and they landed in the Australia. And final moment, they are separated. Two things. One is with a parachute, they go down safely on the ground, but the other part is they burn out in the sky. It's everybody in Japan say, very sad about this, and it's the death of this artificial goods, right? So we believe, we can see, not believe, we feel some sort of things of the spirit there, right? I'm not talking really nonsense. This is some feeling. So we can extend our self-conception to a different way. So I talk about the conception of that self. That this vertical is materialism idea and animistic, and horizontal is ego self, and non-ego or no self. So most Western individualism, historical individualism is the most important thing as the next Western world, even any disciplines. And this is the top. It's a self is important and very materialistic. I'm not talking about religion now, right? But I'm talking about these things. So this is the ideas. But there are many other ideas, like Derek Parfit, he talked about identity. we can talk about ourselves is not so important. He talk about the connectedness of you. And if it is psychologically connected to you, that means you need not so much worry about your own self, right? As you know that our bodies, all cells except our brains, is 2 years, every cell is changed. How you keep yourself? Yourself here is 3 years before never existed here, right? Your body is exchanging always, right? So why we are stick to yourself so much? So this is a perfect ideas. And you'd better read his book. It's really wonderful. He is one of the most distinguished the modern philosopher in UK, I think. He is Oxford. But really, I suggest you read his book. Okay. So I also the Ness ecological self is a Norwegian, the professor. He is interested in something more than that, but it's a different direction. And at the bottom, Iwata is a Japanese famous animistic philosopher. He died recently, but his idea is different. And Chu is a doctrine of Chu-Tzu, is a Chinese ideas. Everything is somehow, it's a gas, something like that. It's very non-ego, non-self ideas, very materialistic idea. So I want to really extend this conception of the self, to extend itself over there. So what is it? So I want to extend our self-conception to different two extension. One is a vertical extension, the other is a horizontal extension. The vertical extension you are talking about, I'm talking about ancestor and descendants of myself, right? I have my father, mother, my grandfather, and so on. So everybody has some. I have my children, right? So my children also myself, something like that. Horizontal axis, we can extend non-human beings such as fauna and flora, natural existence, and even artificial goods. You are artist, you are making your art. That you yourself, isn't it? They are yourself. So I want to really extend our self-conception to this direction. So then you can see this one. Okay, you are person one. This is all yourself. Okay, artwork is yourself. Okay, two agent, two person one and two are now in a conflict. They are fighting each other. But if you look at the back to your ancestors, maybe there are only one human beings in the beginning. So you are killing yourself if you are talking about the extended self. Or maybe your children or your descendant, maybe 200 years after, right? They marry to the opponents, other people's descendants. So also you are killing yourself. So this is the way. Well, how can we can change our conception if we can introduce this extended self in the conflicting situation, right? So we can apply this in not only human beings, but extend self to the organization or the nations as well. For example, there are some companies want to merge two companies into one, right? Something like that. It's always happened. In the Europe, there are several countries come to the European Union, so that is also another the conception about it. So extended self is, if you think about this way, we can solve our conflict. Like Friday and Robinson are fighting now. Okay, this is sort of game theoretic framework. The blue one is Robinson Crusoe's happiness, and the red one is Friday's. They fight now. Of course, this is a hypothetical situation. They fight, then they lose their, maybe they have wound, they will be wounded or something like that. Fighting is okay, but you cannot never necessarily. If the other opponent run away, you can get all, something like that. Okay, so this is an ordinary game theoretic situation, okay? But if we have this extended self-conception, we have a different perspective. At first stage, conflicting agent decide to unite or not unite, assuming that their value will change after unification as a weighted additive sum of their original values. This is, I'll give you one example. Okay, you have maybe your partner or girlfriend or boyfriend or something, or you are living in a house. And she likes the green curtain, right? And you like a black curtain. And maybe you never want to change your taste. But maybe if you think of more seriously, okay, maybe I like green, maybe it's right. Maybe she thinks also, okay, black is not so bad. So we can compromise between two values within these two extreme values. We can compromise this one. This is a value change before. Because extended self is a different self afterward, right? So this can be possible. And at the second stage, if you agents are united, they find a way of maximizing their happiness. So you can talk, okay? If they do not united, they play the original competitive game. Competitive game, always you have some chance to lose. Okay. So what is the conclusion of this theory? The finding of the game, if communication cost to unite is 0 and easy to communicate, then the best strategy for both agents are to unite. Stop your conflict anymore. To be united is always the best good solution. Can you imagine? It's a really good findings. I published the Hidano Muto 2006 in this sort of paper, but I thought about it the year 2000 about such things. Better to stop conflict between two agents by strengthening the way of communication. Okay? It's much more important. You can work together to find the optimal solution rather than the competing. So this is the end of the tale 4. Okay. I don't know how much time I have still. Can I continue? Okay. So this is important. What after 4 tales, issues are not yet solved. What is it? Okay. So another question afterwards: how are we free from the past if we include ancestors, hope, and pain? Okay. I have my own mother, right? She has somehow pain. And she inherited from grandmother, of my mother's mother. And grandmothers inherited some pain from the mother of this women. So I inherited such things, right? How can you really think about that? Or you may have some hope. Maybe your parents think, oh, you work hard and you want to be great, you're a great artist or whatsoever. You are influenced by such sort of hope, right? But if you extend it, how can you really solve these issues? Or this is external thing. But internally, how can we treat extended self equally? It's a different selves in yourself, right? How can we? For example, do you take care of your teeth equally? This is the teeth. I'm sorry, I'm not good at painting. This is something. You artist, you can help me, okay? So this right-hand side top teeth, tooth, it's one, so it's not well cleaned every day. Do you believe you can equally take care of your body? No. Your brain is always dominated over you, right? You have a lot of problems with your body, right? So actually, brain or your mind dominate yourself. It is really nonsense. My colon screams, I think so much. Better to stop, okay? So such things happen. So the way is multiple agent existing in ourselves. I don't mean multiple personalities, like we have a Jekyll and Hyde or such. It's only your brains, or mind. I don't talk about that. But we are set of parts of body. You look at this man, we have a lot of parts. I'm talking about not Western idea, but better to Chinese or West Eastern idea. Our body is composed of many things and many functions, not only organs, but functions and so on. I call it the parts of our body. And also, physically speaking, do you know that in the colon, there are more than maybe 10 billion bacteria living in your colon, right? They help you to digest your things. So actually, you yourself, it's not only in individual. You can be dividable, so that you are really that set of the goods, right? You believe you are alone. You can decide everything. It is not. You are really that very complex system yourself. You are not only your brain, but you have another part. Even you are, like my skin is protected by the bacteria on the skin. If you wash your hands so much using some chemical, you kill these sort of bacteria on your skin. Better to don't use so much the organic, so much such sort of the goods. Better to allow your bacteria with you, okay? So important thing, how can you communicate with our parts within our body is a big question now. So we need to have something such as a sensitivity to listen to your voices of other existence in outer world, in outer world, or your parts of the body, our internal world as well. So you should be a very sensitive person. Art can provide this sort of the sensitivity, I believe, because of the characteristic to art is accumulation of the wisdom and knowledge. Art historian, maybe one of you, or maybe some of you are art historian. You study a lot of art histories. It's really the artwork is really the product of the past as well. Okay, so this is also important. But it's the same with the technology and engineer on the sciences. This is accumulation of that many knowledges, right? Right? It's really the same. But most peculiar and important aspect of the art is the creation from nothing. If you go to if you in front of the canvas, you draw something, you paint something. It's nothing on the canvas. It's a white. You create something from zero, always. Actually, you are born with nothing, like a baby. You have nothing. And you become old and you die, right? And we can say, I died last night and I was born in this morning, right? So it's a really not continuation anymore. It's a really a sort of things. Our death is always, it's not, the death is not so important anymore because we are always dying. We are always die, and always we are born again. So we always create something from nothing. Artist is, I think, exactly what you are doing here. So you have some sort of sensitivity. You create something from nothing. So I thought about that, and better to introduce this sort of artistic things at my university. And Art at Tokyo Tech, it's Project 9. About 10 years before, I introduced the idea and to include this art things in our education. And more than 100 unique and strong artists have been invited all over the world. And their fields are fine arts, photo, sound, music, theater, dance, among others. And there are more than 20,000 participants, including the students, and outsiders as well, and 400,000 flyers have been distributed in Tokyo, something like that. So this is Art at Tokyo Tech. And you can see, and here is Kinji is here. Santiago Kukuru, he's here. Rob Fisher is, I'm sorry, Alan Pondike is not here. I forgot to bring it that. I'm sorry, I apologize it. But MCAD people come a lot, and we have this, here is the newest one in 2014 summer project with dance and Japanese traditional music, something like that. So I invited these people and talk, and some sort of the invited guest, it's the top is a contemporary dance. It's a Jean Laurent Sapos from Pina Bausch. Do you know the Pina Bausch? Do you know? Yes. Pina Bausch is the most, the wonderful contemporary dance company in Germany. It's a Wuppertal. She unfortunately died recently, but it's really creative. It's really completely changed the conception of dance. Okay. Angela Schneider from Berlin. She is a famous art historian in Berlin. So I invited her. And sound arts and fine art or something. Santiago Daphne Fitzpatrick from Yale University. Frederick Feldman from Berlin, and so on. This is not only a short list, but there are many. So what I found from that one, it's, I maybe have some another organization too, to really keep this sort of activity. So in 2006, we created a Center for the Study of World Civilization at our institute. And it is composed of two academies, Academy of Arts and Academy of Humanities. So we have this sort of classes. We have this is involve the students to attend these art activities and so on. And this is one of the examples. It's our center in Tokyo Tech. It's some sort of scenery. You can see outside of the trees. It's this direction we can see the Mount Fuji, but you cannot see it. That is important. And here, it's you have something. This is sort of the leg style. Sorry, you can stand on this plate, and you can listen to that direction. You can hear something. And actually, this is done by the Akio Suzuki, which I'll show you later about. This is John Cage. Do you know the John Cage? Of course, you know. John Cage's ears. Suzuki Akio was invited to documenter in Germany by this John Cage before he died. And he just sketched on the spot, and this is his ear. So John Cage is here, right? So we create these things. This art environment and real environment is so important. So this is one of the output which we did recently. This is a dance creation, and this is all students, really not professional dancers. Only 1 week, several weeks lessons, they can create everything. It's very wonderful things, and much better than professional dancers, I think, because of the purity, their concentrations, and to produce the powers. So findings of these activities, to involve the artist, students, and audience, and making together are most important. Sound should be included. Bodily communication without language is so important. The power of creation at this intensive moment is the most important thing, I think. It may be fine artist, maybe draw or paint. It takes time, but really moment continues, so it's important. So I'll show you one thing. It's here. Could you listen to the output of our activities? So this one is actually, it's more than 30 minutes, so much concept. Of course, it's really the improvisation. It takes a lot of time to prepare, not on the spot. This is really the spot. They prepare a completely different access to this artwork. So synchronized these creations by agent and existence in the external world and the part of our body in the internal world. Listening, looking, touching are most essential. Free from the past, free from the bondage of identity. Need not to be sure you are different from others. The meaning of the arts and design now is rather less emphasized to provide a new conception of the world, which is the most important the theme in 21st century art history. However, in the 21st century may be different. But to create the real value with others and every part of your body, and then to give happiness to every part of the body and to free ourselves from fears. So still I say, I'm completely maybe wrong because the universe is infinite. So I'm not necessarily, I say I'm right or not, but maybe you have so much infinite possibility about what we can do. So thank you very much, all of you are coming, and really I'm happy with your moment. Thank you so much.